What can you build at home using a plastic egg and some rice? Let's find out. Come on, it's music time. Hey everyone, Mr. Cobb here with our feature for episode 25 of Music Time. This week we continue with instrument building and we'll get to our new instrument in just a moment. I wanted to begin with some of the responses I got from kids who tried building last week's instrument, the balloon bassoon. Let's see how it went.
This is my balloon bassoon.
Here's mine.
It kind of is a failure. It doesn't sound like anything.
Okay, you can stop. That's the best I could do.
It turns out the balloon bassoon is not as easy to play as Mr. Cobb made it look. Here's a couple of reminders if you're trying to play your balloon bassoon at home. Hold the bassoon tube higher than the straw. This stretches the balloon over the top of the tube so it can vibrate properly when you blow air into the straw. The second tip I have is stretch the balloon tightly and use lots of air, but take breaks if all that blowing makes you dizzy. So hold the tube higher, use lots of air, and you should be able to get a sound. I did find sometimes it didn't work in this position, so if I tried another part of my tube, sometimes I could get it to sound better. So feel free to try it again, and if you figure out how to make a better sound with your balloon bassoon, you could include another clip as part of your response for this week's lesson. Well, let's take a look at this week's instrument, the shaker. Usually around this time of year, we start seeing lots of plastic eggs. So about 20 years ago, I started having students bring in any extra plastic eggs they might have around the house, and we made egg shakers out of them. Like we did with our last instrument, we have a materials and tools list. Also, like last time, think of any substitutions that could work if you don't have the exact materials that I have. Here's what we need to make a shaker today. A plastic egg or some other kind of small container. Maybe a pill bottle or something else that's small and has a lid. Something to put in the container like rice, unpopped popcorn, dry beans, or gravel. Each material will make a shaker sound different, so you might experiment with a few kinds of materials and see which sound you like the best before you seal up your shaker. Hot glue or tape if you're using a plastic egg. We don't want your shaker to pop open the first time you use it. And something to decorate your shaker with. This step is optional, and it shouldn't affect the sound of your shaker too much. If you're using an egg, maybe decorate it with permanent markers or stickers. If you're using a pill bottle, maybe you could wrap it with paper and draw on it. You could even make the picture first, and then wrap it around the container. Today, I'm going to be using a plastic egg for one shaker and a pill bottle for another. I'm going to glue the egg shut with hot glue. If you don't have a hot glue gun or you're not sure you can use one safely, remember you can also use tape to seal your egg shut. Step 1. You want to open up your egg and place the material you've chosen in half of the egg. I'm going to use rice for my egg shaker, And I'm going to use unpopped popcorn for my pill bottle shaker. If you are using another kind of container besides an egg, don't fill it more than halfway. We need room inside your container for the stuff to shake around. So if you fill your container too full, it may make it play worse. Step 2, now that you have the material in your container, if you're using an egg, you want to try to put a small bead of hot glue around that edge and then snap it shut quickly. You only have about 10 seconds to work with before the hot glue cools down too much and you won't be able to snap your egg shut. You can try to peel off the cooled down hot glue and try again. I've done that before. Or you can use tape for this step. All right, let's give it a try. I got my rice and my egg. I'm gonna put a bead of hot glue around the edge. I'm gonna snap that lid on. Again, I only have 10 seconds. Success. Now you may find you have some glue around the edge. Give it a few seconds to cool, and then that should just rub right off. I like to rub it over a garbage can so all that stuff doesn't get on the floor and mom and dad yell at me. So make sure you get all that extra glue off. If you're using a pill bottle, put on the lid, and your shaker is done. You can go to the optional step of decorating it or just use it as it is. So that's it. Again, feel free to record yourself playing your shaker and send it to me. We may be able to use your recording in a future episode of Music Time. Well, that's it for our feature today. We'll see you next time. Let's check in with Mr. Reynolds for today's rhythm segment.
Hello and welcome to another amazing episode of Rhythms with Mr. Reynolds. Today we're going to be looking at a song that we all know and love and that has a very special connection with this time of year. So join me as we learn the rhythms for the song Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Here we have the sheet music for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We can see that it was written by Albert von Tisler. And the very first thing that jumps out to me is the time signature. Right here the time signature says 3/4. This is 3/4 time. Now what does 3/4 time mean and why is it different from 4/4 time? Well, obviously the one difference is the top number is a 3 instead of a 4. Well, the top number tells me how many beats are in a measure. So in 4/4 time, there are 4 beats per measure. And in 3/4 time, like this song right here, there are 3 beats in every measure. So let's see if that's true. Let's take a look at the first measure here. We see we have a 2 and a ta. We know that 2s are worth 2 beats and a ta is worth 1 beat. So if I go 2 plus 1, that equals 3. 3 beats per measure. The second measure tells us the same thing. There's ta, ta, ta. Well, each ta is worth 1 beat. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. 3 beats per measure. So we now know that as we go through the lines of the song, it's going to be 3 beats in every measure. Another thing that is pointing out to me is we see these letters above the music, right? These are called chords. And this is for someone if they wanted to play a piano or a guitar or an instrument like that with the instrument, they could play these chords on their instrument along with the music and sing along with it without having to actually have all the music written out for that instrument. So it's just kind of a shorthand for people to play instruments along with this musical part that they would sing. So we're not going to really worry about that. We're just going to focus on what the notes are. And we can also see that the words are underneath, but we're not going to be singing the words. We're going to sing the song with our tas and our tus. Now let's take a look at the roadmap of this song, like we did last week. We start at the beginning, and as I go along, I'm going to see, are there any roadmap signs, any roadmap symbols, repeats, first endings, second endings, DSL codas, anything like that. And as I go through here, man, I don't see anything. All I see is the double bar. So this is a simple song where we start at the beginning and we go to the end and then we're done. There's no repeats, there's no interesting roadmap where we go around and do different parts of the song. Nope, we just go from beginning to end and the song is over. Great. Now let's take a look at the different types of rhythms in the song. Well, like we said before, we see a 2 and we see a ta and we see a 3 right here. Now there's going to be a lot of 3s in this song because we're in 3/4 time. So if they want to have one note take up a whole measure, then they're going to put a 3 in there. So look at, there's a 3 and a 3. Here, ooh, this is interesting. We have a 3 and a 2, and they're connected by this curvy, smiley face looking line. Now this is called a tie. A tie connects 2 notes that are the same. This note is a G, and this note is a G, and so this tie connects them, and basically it's saying we have a really long note here. So we know a 3 is worth 3 counts, and a 2 is worth 2 counts. So how long are we going to hold this really long note? Well, it's going to be one long note where we don't do it over and over. It's going to be a 3 plus 2, which is 5. Now, when we actually play this song, I don't think we're going to say 5. We're just going to go 3, 2, shh. Okay? Now here where you have a shush, and we go through, we see all the things that we've seen before, going through here, and then, oh, down here is something similar. It's a 3 tied to a quarter note to a ta. So we're going to go 3, ta, 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 and then we have some more 3s. And then down here at the very bottom, we have another tie where we have a 3 tied to a ta. 3 tied to a 2. Okay? So it looks like this song should be fairly straightforward. We're doing this song because it's baseball season. Baseball season is starting up. Spring is when that begins, and we're all excited. Oh, I'm excited to start watching some baseball. And we know that there are even local teams, like the Rough Rider teams, are even playing right now. So that's really, really cool. So let's go ahead and practice this rhythm for Take Me Out to a Ball Game. So how this is going to work is you're going to clap and count and sing all at the same time. So instead of saying the words, take me out to the ball game, etc., you're going to go 2, ta, 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 3, 3, 2, ta, 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 3, 2, shh. Like that. So you're going to sing the song, because hopefully all of us know this song. If not, you're going to have a chance to learn it right now. But we're going to sing the song, but instead of saying the words, we're going to say the rhythm amounts, and we're just going to go through the whole song together. Should be pretty fun. Okay? Let's jump right into it. Ta 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 3 3 2 ta 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 3 2 sh ta 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 2 ta 3 2 ta 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 2 ta 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 3 2 ta 2 ta 2 ta ta 3 ta 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 3 3 ta 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 3 3 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if we never get back. So excuse me, pardon me. Root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Thanks for joining me today. You make Rhythms with Mr. Reynolds a lot of fun. Now remember, I gave you a challenge last week. The challenge is, find a song that you know and love and figure out the rhythms for that song. You can do it, I believe in you. Anyway, have a good one. Bye-bye.
I wonder what Mrs. Icestone is doing for Elements of Music today. Let's find out.
In our last lesson, we got an overview of the various genres of music and their origins. And just to remind you, an origin of something is its roots, where it came from, where it originated. A genre is a category or style of an art form. It would be like if candy were an art form, and some of the different genres would be hard candy, soft candy, or chocolate candy. Today, I'd like to focus on the genre of country music, especially what gives it its sound. It was born in the South, in the states of Tennessee and Virginia, with the Appalachian Mountain people. At first, it was called hillbilly music or bluegrass. Later, it was called country music, and when you hear it, you know it's country, no matter how old or current a song may be. Early on, it was played with the banjo, fiddle, harmonica, bass, guitar, but not the drums. Those would be added later. One of the most distinctive sounds of country music is the banjo. So let's take a closer look at it with musicians David Holt and Rhianna Giddens.
What gives Southern music its distinctive sound is the blending of music from the British Isles with the music of Africa. Now that began to evolve in the 1800s in the South and has affected American music ever since. Black string bands featuring banjo and fiddle have been playing in the South since before the Civil War. The Thompson brothers from Mebane, North Carolina, carried on that tradition into the 21st century. Luckily for us, a group of young black musicians was inspired by the Thompsons and started the Carolina Chocolate Drops. The group has been wildly successful due in large part to the talents of Rhiannon Giddens as a singer, banjo player, and fiddler. Today, I'm meeting Rhiannon here at the historic Horn Creek Farm in Pinnacle, North Carolina. You know, I think most people think of the banjo as the quintessential American instrument, but tell us about it coming from Africa.
Well, there's a lot of string instruments, lute instruments in West Africa, and so when Africans came over to the Americas, they either brought the instruments or the memory of the instruments with them. And in the Caribbean in particular, that was the first sort of meshing of Anglo and Celtic and African sort of cultures, music, and dance. And so the instrument that sort of came out of that synchronization, we now call the banjo, and it traveled up to North America with the slaves and became, a well-known, plantation instrument. So first, 100 years of its existence in the Americas, it was known as a black instrument, and that's how people considered it.
And then how did it get into the white community?
Well, in the 1840s and 50s, some entertainers started to look at the banjo and go, that's pretty cool. And one in particular, Joel Sweeney, we know as maybe he wasn't the first white man ever, but he was the first that we know of to pick it up. He made some changes to it, whereas instruments before would have been more handmade, sort of gourd type instruments. He made some changes to it, and also his colleagues, one thing being the wooden rim, and so they started to take the banjo out, performing with it all over the country. They went to the UK, they went to Australia, they went to Europe, and
spread it around the world.
Yeah, they did. It was the first really American cultural export, 100 years before rock and roll. And one of the reasons why we don't talk about this is because they were doing it in blackface as part of the minstrel show. And that's, for various reasons, that's a really hard thing for us to talk about. There's a lot of negativity that goes along with that. But you also have to look at the fact that it was the most popular form of entertainment in America for over 50 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at the root of our culture, music, dance.
It's what started Broadway.
It started everything, syncopation.
There really was not much syncopation in American music then. Give us a little example of something, and I'll play the bones.
Yeah, so this was originally published in 1855, the very first banjo tutor called the Briggs Banjo Instructor. So this is a little piece from that.
Yeah, that's great.
The banjo is still a popular instrument and is played by musicians around the world. No matter how modern a song may be, when the banjo is playing, it has the undeniable sound of country music. Here's a sampling of what I mean, once again with Rhianna Giddens and her band.
I've done all I can do to try to get along with you. Still, you're not satisfied. Oh, Ruby, Ruby, honey, are you mad at your man? Trouble in the shade, I'll shovel with a spade. I'll take you into Brown's gold mine. Oh, Ruby, Ruby, honey, are you mad at your man? I've done all I can do to try to get along with you. Still, you're not satisfied. Oh, Ruby, Ruby, honey, are you mad at your man? Don't believe I'll ride. Just follow me tonight. I'll take you to my shanty so cold. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, Ruby, honey, are you mad at your man? 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 Honey, are you mad at your
Well, that's it for genres and the elements of music. See you next time.
It's time to head over to voice class with Miss Kramer.
voice class, would I be showing you a video of a plant going from a seed to fruit? That was a red pepper. Did you know red pepper is a fruit? That's pretty cool. Well, I'm gonna tell you why. So, I'm Miss Kramer. This is voice class this week. And a few years ago, I wrote a melody to a really cool poem that was written by an American poet who lived back in the 1800s. His name was, wait for it, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Is that like the greatest name ever? Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. I love that name. When I was younger, my uncle gave me a teddy bear, and it was a big teddy bear, and I named it Wadsworth because I thought that was just such the coolest name. Anyways, so his poem went like this. Kind hearts are the gardens, kind thoughts are the roots. Kind words are the flowers, kind deeds, that's the things that we do for each other, are the fruits. Take care of your garden and keep out the weeds. Fill it with sunshine and kind words and kind deeds. So what he was saying is that when you have a kind heart, that means that you have kind thoughts. And those kind thoughts, or like the roots, they lead to kind words and kind deeds. Like I said before, kind deeds are the things that we do for each other and for the planet. It's just like when you grow things in a garden. A beautiful, abundant garden has things that you've planted in it. They've taken root, they've grown into flowers, and then they've grown into fruit or vegetables, right? It's the thing that you get at the end. So, a kind heart is an amazing, wonderful thing that's like a garden. The kind thoughts that you think are the roots. The kind words that you speak are the flowers. And then the kind deeds, things that you do for other people, are the fruits. It's the thing that comes out at the other end. It's the result of that and that tending, right? Isn't that beautiful? I think it's a beautiful poem, and so I decided to make it into a song. So let's get to our song for this week, and it's called Kind Hearts. Now, the first two times that we sing it, we're going to sing it in something that's called unison. So you're going to see two voices singing. Of course, they're both going to be me. And those two voices are going to be singing the exact same melody at the exact same time with the exact same lyrics, the words. So singing in unison means that we sing together the exact same things at the same time. The third time, you're going to hear something different. You're going to hear harmony come in. Now, you know we've been talking about harmony. We've been creating harmony while we're singing by singing it around. But this week, instead of singing it around, when we come in and start singing it the third time through, you're going to hear me sing some different notes for part 2, but I'm still going to be singing the same words at the same time. So we're not going to sing this one in around. Okay? Now, this song actually can be sung in around, and if you're interested in doing that, go to the slide and there will be a link to it being sung in around also. All right, so this is how the song goes before we actually do it together with the guitar. Kind hearts are the gardens, kind thoughts are the roots, kind words are the flowers, kind deeds are the fruits. Take care of your garden and keep out the weeds and fill it with sunshine, kind words and kind deeds. So you can pause, you can go back and learn that melody before we go to sing it with the guitar and then the parts in there, all right? Excellent, let's get to it. Kind hearts are the gardens, kind thoughts are the roots, kind words are the flowers, kind deeds are the fruits. Take care of your garden and keep gardens, kind thoughts are the roots, kind words are the flowers, kind deeds are the fruits. Take care of your garden and keep out the weeds, and fill it with sunshine, kind words and kind deeds. Kind hearts are the gardens, kind thoughts are the roots, kind words are the flowers, kind deeds are the fruits. Take care of your garden and keep out the weeds, and fill it with sunshine, kind words and kind deeds. Kind hearts are the gardens, kind thoughts are the roots, kind words are the flowers, kind deeds are the fruits. Take care of your garden and keep out the weeds, and fill it with sunshine, kind words and kind deeds. Isn't that a beautiful song? Now remember I said that you could also sing it in a round, so check that out on the link too. Now when you go back and sing it, your first challenge is when the harmony comes in on the third time through, stay on part one. So stay on that melody while the harmony is also being sung. Now your Uber challenge is, if maybe you're an older student, see if you can figure out the harmony part and sing along with the harmony. Well, that's it for this week. Hey, remember, the key to being a kind person and having a kind heart is to start with kind thoughts, because they become the roots for kind words and kind deeds. The things that we do for other people on the planet. Hey, maybe this is a great week to go out and commit a random act of kindness, or 2 or 3 or 4. You could create a kindness caper, which means that you keep it secret so nobody even knows it was you. Maybe you could secretly share it with your teachers. All right, take care. Kind hearts are the gardens, kind thoughts are the roots, kind words are the flowers, kind deeds are the fruits. Take
Hi there! Welcome to Recorder Corner. Today we're going to use the pitches G, A, and B, and we're going to figure out how to play a song by ear. Now, I've heard through the grapevine that some of you were asking to play Mary Had a Little Lamb, and since that's such a familiar song, that's a great one to try this with. So let's sing through it first so we can get it into our head. I think it starts, sounds about right. Ready? Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow. Now you might have noticed that there was a 4th higher pitch there, and that pitch is D. But we haven't learned to play that one yet, so we'll just leave that out and modify the melody, staying on the highest pitch of B that we already know. Okay, so let's hum that song, and as we do, move your hand up and down between those 3 pitches and see if you can figure out the flow of that melody, okay? I think we start on the highest pitch here, okay? Ready? Let's just hum it. Now, we do start on B. Let's play it and see how we do. Hey, we did it! Great! Now let's take a look at the music. So here are our 3 pitches for Mary Had a Little Lamb: G, A, and B. Our time signature is 4/4 time. 4 beats in every measure. It's the quarter note that gets 1 full beat. We have the occasional half note for 2. And we end the piece on a whole note that we hold out for 4. Our 4th measure is where we're varying our melody. We're going to just stay on B rather than stepping up to the D. We're going to go back here. I'll name the notes and then we'll play through it. B, A, G, A, B, 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 A, B, 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 A, G, A, B, 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 A, B, A, G for 4. Are you ready to play it? 1, 2, here we go. Great job. Well, that's it for Recorder Corner. We'll see you back here next week.
Well, that's going to do it for our lesson this week. We'll see you next week for another episode of Music Time.